Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Friday, February 21, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, PC Sheldon Arzu to be charged with dangerous harm. BPM redistricting hearing set for March 4th. Historic Belize City Church destroyed by early morning fire. And Compol says assault on sitting magistrate reminds about the need for respect. We take a first break and return with the news in detail.
February is
reflect our society at its best. Equal Opportunities Bill. Belize, we're ready.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. PC Sheldon Arzu, who was assigned to the Independence Police Station, was expected to be charged today with dangerous harm for the shooting of 24-year-old Emil Rivers. According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, Arzu had been on suspension due to the police-involved shooting that happened in January, and which Rivers, who is living with a mental health condition, was shot to the stomach.
Was on suspension pending the outcome of the investigation. We have gotten the directive from the DPP, I think today is Friday, on Wednesday, to proceed with charge of dangerous harm.
Against our...
Yes. Today he'll be charged for dangerous harm and should be appearing before the court this afternoon.
What about the young man? He was in hospital, and my understanding is that under police guard, so charges were expected against him.
He was to be charged in respect to the matter against Inspector Rosado, so that is still going to proceed.
Will you recommend that he be dismissed? I forget the procedures, but...
The matter is going to be before the courts and then before tribunal, because we'll also institute our own tribunal, and I will leave it for them to determine that.
You've spoken about that incident. How would you have addressed it?
Like I said before, I have my opinion, but I am not going to be guided by my opinion. I'll be guided by the directive from the DPP and what the tribunal is going to do.
But in the other case of the officer who shot the dog at the Governor General, you did not go by the bidding of the tribunal. You decided, in consonance perhaps with the Governor General's husband, that man has to be fired.
In that case, you're wrong. I did waited for the tribunal to be completed. And after the tribunal was completed, I reviewed the evidence, and then I did what the law authorized me to do. I am not saying that in the case of Arzu, that is not going to happen. I will wait to see what the educator does, and based on that, then I see how we go from there.
The historic Queen Street Baptist Church in Fort George, Belize City is no more. The concrete and wooden structure was destroyed by a fire that broke out before 5 this morning. Residents in the area noticed the blaze and contacted emergency services. Firefighters arrived on the scene after 5, and almost 2 hours later were still fighting to put out the blaze. The church was completely destroyed, save for some concrete section. The Queen Street Baptist School, which is adjacent to the church, received water damage, and classes were called off for the day. The Queen Street Baptist Church is the second oldest church in the city, having been founded in 1822. St. John's Cathedral was founded in 1820. The church was the location where slaves had gathered to celebrate the arrival of Emancipation Day in 1838. Many in the community are mourning the loss of the building and with it the history it stored. On its Facebook page, the Baptist Association of Belize addressed the fire, calling it tragic. The statement offers hope, saying, quote, "It's a very sad day, but we know the Lord got us." Pastor Lloyd Stanford, Sister Nancy Stanford, members of Queen Street Baptist Church, we have you all in our thoughts and prayers. Know we are here to support you, end quote. This morning, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams told the media that preliminary investigations revealed that the fire may have started due to faulty outside lighting and that the cause may be electrical. He said more details will be known once the investigation by the National Fire Service is completed.
This morning, police got a call, as well as the fire department, of the fire. They responded and they met the building engulfed in flame. I'm told that the building housed a school and perhaps a church, and there was a pastor who had who had care of the building, and according to him, he had left the place yesterday, secured the place to have lights that comes on as night settles in. But one of the lights, I think on the southern end, was not working. And according to information, the fire may have started from there. So it is believed that the fire may be electrical, starting with the area where the light exists that was not working. But that is going to be confirmed hopefully today or next week by the fire department as to the exact area where the fire started and the cause of the fire.
Pastor Ashley Rock, the leader of the Baptist Association of Belize, told the media that the building was more than a church. It was an icon from which the Baptist movement spread into Belize. He lamented that the building wasn't considered important enough to protect as an important historical building.
We experience a lot of sentiments of sadness because this is not just a church in that community, but it's an icon. And I'm wondering why it wasn't dubbed a World Heritage Site, since it's been there since 1822 now, when the slaves were set free from emancipation. That was the first church they ran to, and there the whole process of emancipation took place. It's been a sad thing to watch a very iconic place of worship disappear into thin air because of a fire. From that church started the Crooked Tree Baptist Church. From that church started the church in Danbriga that was burnt down as well. And from that church started the Light of the Valley Baptist Church. And from there, an association was formed that linked both the Conservative Baptist Church, known at that time, to the Southern Baptist Church of the United States. So Queen Street Baptist Church have been pivotal in not just offering a sanctuary of faith to people, but also to indicate to the country of Belize that we also were interested in the educational formation of families. No, we are saddened because it's a place that we go to every year to celebrate the Good Friday service. And to have gone there this morning and stand in that yard and see that building just reduced to ashes, it was really touching, no? So, yeah, the Queen Street Baptist Church will be long remembered in many of our minds as that place where we went to whenever we wanted to meet in a very collective way, not just as that church, but as a collective association of the Baptist world.
On Tuesday, March 4, High Court Justice Tawanda Hundara will hear oral submissions regarding the Belize Peace Movement's claim about the constitutionality of Schedule 1 of the Representation of the People Act. They affirmed that to have a general election based on the existing schedule would be unlawful and unconstitutional, and call for a redistricting exercise to be done first. The case management orders were made on Thursday, February 20. Both parties must file a pre-trial memorandum setting out the relevant facts and legal issues arising in the case by February 26. The trial bundle must be submitted by February 28. Speaking about the incident in which the sitting resident magistrate in Punta Gorda was aggressed by an accused who moved to assault her with an electric fan, the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, this week said it speaks to a general lack of respect in our society.
Well, I have said before that there is a need for us to have a discourse about respect. When I was assaulted in Orangewa, people made a whole issue about it. If you assault the Commissioner of Police while he's working, then who are you not going to assault? If you assault the magistrate who sits on a bench dispensing justice, then who are you not going to assault? And so the police is on top of the matter. I believe the magistrate would have made a report, and the police is going to deal with it. And I hope that when the matter goes before the court deals with it adequately. It cannot be that we have people who are assaulting police, magistrates, journalists, and so forth when we're doing our work and they just get a slap on the wrist and go home. We must send a strong signal that is going to serve as a deterrent to anybody who may think that they can do these kind of acts and get away with it.
But there are reports that the man is mentally ill. In that case, what then happens?
If he's mentally ill, then he still goes to prison, and then the prison is going to arrange for him to get the care that he needs to be able to assist him. But that should not be a justification, no.
And we'll have more news after the break. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams has confirmed that there has been an uptick in gang activity in the Lake Independence area between rival gangs due to recent violence.
Well, I have said before that there is a need for us to have a discourse about respect. When I was assaulted in Orange Walk, people made a whole issue about it. If you assault the commissioner of police while he's working, then who are you not going to assault? If you assault the magistrate who sits on a bench dispensing justice, then who are you not going to assault? And so the police is on top of the matter. I believe the magistrate would have made a report, and the police is going to deal with it. And I hope that when the matter goes before the court deals with it adequately. It cannot be that we have people who are assaulting police, magistrates, journalists, and so forth when we're doing our work and they just get a slap on the wrist and go home. We must send a strong signal that is going to serve as a deterrent to anybody who may think that they can do these kind of acts and get away with it.
But there are reports that the man is mentally ill. In that case, what then happens?
If he's mentally ill, then he still goes to prison, and then the prison is going to arrange for him to get the care that he needs to be able to assist him. But that should not be a justification, no.
The couple also addressed the upset of Baptist's mother, who complains that her son's death should be classified as murder.
Over the past 2 weeks following the death of Brandon Baptist, we have seen that the threat level in Belize City have increased, and we have also deployed additional police officers on the grounds, and we're conducting daily operations in the Martins area. And then we saw it last weekend where Majestic Ali came into the fray when it was alleged that they were responsible for the shooting at Akeem Smith. So that have now stretched our operations to the north side. Again, we don't want to leave any area open for gangs to be able to execute the intended acts. And so we're doing as best as we can to contain the gang violence for now. We're stretched really, really thin. We also have to look at the High Court for security. We do have a number of judges who lack security, and I had instructed Mr. Romero to provide security for those judges. That is going to take another 8 police officers out of daily operations to provide security for judges. But the security of the judges is important. We must ensure that our judges who are performing such duty in our high courts, that they get the level of security that they deserve. So we're doing as best as we can to make sure that they're safe as well.
The couple says the shooter was not believed to be a gang member and had a licensed firearm. Pastor Dozie Ifen Anye Chineki last year, November, filed a police complaint of forgery against attorney Orson O.J. Elrington, whom he had taken before the General Legal Counsel and won. In that proceeding, the members of the GLC had suspicions about a document tendered in evidence by Elrington himself, and they indicated in their decision that the document would be sent to the Belize Police Department for them to forensically determine if Pastor Dozie's signature had been forged. The Commissioner of Police subsequently stated that Dozie needed to file a complaint with the police for the matter to be investigated. He did so and then requested a copy of his police report on January 8, 2025 at the police headquarters in Belmopan. He was told to pick it up on January 24. He went back on January 31 and says he was told his application could not be located and he should reapply. We asked the Commissioner of Police today if he had looked into the report that Dozie's application for the police report had vanished.
I am not aware of that. I know you did send me the receipt, and I apologize for not responding. I did cite, and I was to respond, but I got busy and I forgot. No, I always respond. I always respond to you, Marisol. You know that, right? But I got busy and forgot to respond to you. I will check with Mr. Dawson today to see what's the update on that issue.
The claimants in the UDP leadership dispute led by Honorable Moses Shine Barrow have filed an urgent notice of appeal of the order of High Court Justice Tawanda Hundra, dismissing their application for contempt of court against the Honorable Tracy Panton and dismissing an application filed on January 16 for a gag order so that Panton nor her agents or anyone else could speak about the case. Specifically, Barrow was seeking that Panton and others refrain from discussing any reference to the existence of separate UDP leaderships and headquarters, or that there is more than one leader of the UDP. The application is dated February 20. Included as a ground of appeal is that the judge, quote, failed to appreciate and accordingly apply the meaning of reverted status quo ante, end quote. Barrow affirms that when the judge indicated a reversion to the status quo before October 28, 2024, when the Tracy Panton camp forcefully took over the party headquarters, it also meant a, quote, reversion of all related incidents, including capacity to lead, to the central executive of Moses Barrow, end quote. Panton and her team, however, insist that the judge was solely referring to control of the physical headquarters. Additionally, Barrow argues that the judge failed to recognize the court as a co-equal branch of government, quote, on an issue of significance, national importance, bearing in mind that the applications were being made at a time of heightened political activity and after an election date had been set, when the best interest of the public required that matters related to certainty of leadership and political choice are most critical, end quote. The National Committee for Families and Children, NCFC, today held a media training in Belize City to discuss issues relating to ethical reporting about children who come in conflict with the law. That presentation was delivered by Justice Natalie Crary Dixon. Also covered was general reporting on crime with a presentation by Justice Antoinette Moore. Also present was the Commissioner of Police, who focused on children's rights and protection under the law. He spoke of the sensitivity involved in reporting on cases involving children.
We often discuss issues surrounding children, whether they are accused of committing a crime or they're victims of crime. And I do agree that, as Jules Vasquez have suggested, that when it comes to children who come into conflict with the law, the media must be responsible enough so as not to publish the identity of these children, because then either way you take it, whether they're victims or offenders, it is going to bring some degree of embarrassment to them, and I don't think that we should expose children to things like that. So today was good, and I want to thank NCFC for the invitation and for even setting up this event. I think that this discourse today was very important and productive, and I wish that there is going to be more of this.
After the break, Dominique Norales to pursue further studies in Germany after earning scholarship. Stay tuned.
Security Board, and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
This week, Dominic Morales, the chairlady of the Leadership Intervention Unit, LIU, and friend of the Zinc Fence, shared on her Facebook page that she is now a DAAD scholar. It means Morales was awarded a scholarship to a university in Germany through the German Academic Exchange Service. Morales' scholarship comes under the Helmut Schmidt Program in Public Policy and Good Governance. Once she completes her studies, Morales would have earned her master's in Peace and Conflict Studies at the Otto von Guericke University, Magdeburg. She spoke of the process to attain the prestigious scholarship.
Yeah, well, the process started in July of last year. The scholarship, I think, opened some weeks before that. The deadline was in July, so I submitted then. And then in November of 2024, you got word of whether or not you moved on to the next phase. I had my interview on November 19th. And then in January is when you find out. And so on January 15th is when it was confirmed that I was awarded the scholarship. I'll be studying in Germany, at the University of Magdeburg. And I'll be studying a Master's of Conflict and Peace Studies, which is a tailored program under the Helmut Schmidt program for public policy and governance. So yeah, I start in October of this year in the winter semester. So I'm super excited about what all it entails, and I chose that program because I feel like the program was written for me, actually. So when I went through the modules and the seminars that we have to do, our thesis, the internship that we have to complete, I knew this was the specific program for me, because there are 7 or 8 programs that you could have chosen from, and that one was the best one for me.
Morales said she believes in the process of hard work and making connections. She encourages other youths from the south side of Belize City to also put in the work so they too can realize their dreams.
So somebody who grew up back at complex, for anybody in Belize who feel like, they're limited, I think you just have to try get over that mental hurdle before anything else. And that takes practice, that takes time. I mean, that scholarship process is super involved. Like, you have to write essays, and you have to reach out to multiple people to support your application, writing references or recommendations. And so it takes a while. So you have to be patient, and of course, never think that where you are now, you shouldn't be putting your best foot forward. Because the reason I got the scholarship is not because of what I'm doing now. It's because of what I've been doing for the last 5 years, for the last 10 years of my young life. So just try always put your best foot forward, create good relationships with people, because those are the people you have to go back to say, hey, can you write this letter for me? And you try your best to just put your best foot forward at all times. And, well, like you keep striving for excellence within the context that you live, because people's experiences are very different. People have very different resources around them. So just always put your best foot forward with what you have, and you always be on the lookout for an opportunity. You stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, huh?
You realize now that people will start going to you for those letters?
I do I do realize, and I'm always open, just as with my bachelor's degree scholarship, which was the Sir Arthur Lewis Scholarship for Indigenous People. I'm always open to helping people with walking through that process, because like I said, scholarship processes are quite involved, and it takes a lot of time and just talking to people and reading constantly about the scholarship you're applying for, so you can always include that in your essay, and making sure that it's something that you're passionate about, because when school get hard, that you want to have to do it. So always follow your passion before anything else.
Morales considers that everything is falling perfectly into place for her, as her first semester is scheduled to begin this October and her contract with LIU ends in July.
Well, my contract ends in July. School begins in October, so it's good timing. I'm sure with all the work we've been doing with the team, building the capacity of the team, of course, the ministry continuously formalizing the program, I'm sure it will be in good hands after I leave. And I'm always grateful for the support of the ministry, those who lead in the executive, the minister, for really the vote of confidence for me to lead this organization for the last 2 years. And I'm looking forward to continuing supporting it. My degree is right in line with what I do day to day, and so it's just another chapter in the story. I want my legacy to be that I inserted structure. I think a lot of any work that you do, governmental, non-governmental, one of the weaknesses is always structure and accountability mechanisms, and making sure that when anybody asks me a question about anything about LIU, I am able to answer it within my capacity and within my pay scale. And so that's what I want my legacy to be, the structure that we brought, the lives that we continue to change and touch, and the communities that we continue to support to grow even beyond the support of the LIU, because it's not support that lasts forever, right? Like, there comes a time when things have to sunset.
As her 2-year term as LIU chairperson winds down, Dominique Morales reflected on her and her team's work. She said the work they do for and with the community is something the government can't do. She said they work to empower the communities and help them get through the traumas brought on by gang and gun violence.
But we want to ensure that whatever we do, people are able to be empowered and resilient and able to continue to do the work that they do for the communities, which the government alone can never do. Because people are in communities doing intimate work with the people around them, knowing the families, knowing the children, knowing the traumas that people face. So making sure that communities are strong enough to stand on their own, and we give all the support as possible. It's a regular part of our mediation process in our community process. I think people are really aware of what's happening, because it's happening to them, right? They don't need us to remind them that it's happening to them. Well, our job is to tell them and have them understand that it's okay and it's something that you have to work through, and that takes time, and you can't kind of leapfrog over that, because you can't have to go through it. But our job is to create, like I said, that supportive mechanism around communities and families and individuals who are influential in their communities to ensure that there's a little less trauma in the next generation, and we continue to work to alleviate and eventually eradicate any traumas that come as a result of gang and gun violence.
During an interview on Wednesday, UDP chairperson Michael Parafit rejected the mentality that elections are all about money or paying voters to vote. Parafit said that what makes a good candidate is more than how much money they have. He said he believes that Belizeans want and expect better.
What I think is oiled is keeping the people informed. What I think is oiled is putting out a manifesto that we can deliver on. A party is well oiled if they have their act together and they're doing things what they want to do. You listen to me. Let me break it down to you as a fairly good looking man trying to capture a nice young lady to marry you. Is your only attribute you bring to the relationship money? No. Don't you have to be nice? Don't you have to be courteous? Don't you have to be a gentleman? Don't you have to have manners and respect for women? There's so many things other than just money. So when you say, is he a good man? The only measurement of how much money you have? No. Is he, see, and that's disrespectful to the ladies. If the only thing a political party can do is provide money, and it's your money, then there's something out of whack. I would like to think that the Belizean people will want to hear something deeper than just that. They want to be assured that if they elect a particular party to serve in government, they can make their lives better.
Parafit also revealed that his party had anticipated a November election date. However, he said that the Prime Minister has all right to call the elections in March. He said he is more concerned about all the borrowing that the PUP administration did and gives them a failing grade.
It's his prerogative. The law allows him to advise the Governor General to dissolve the Parliament and then set date for elections. That's his prerogative within the law. He didn't do anything illegal by doing that. All I asked was, why, if you're claiming that you've been running such a wonderful economy, that on the last day of the parliament, you need to borrow $200 million at the end of a financial year, and why you need to, at the cost of $42 million to the Belizean public, why you need to beg Taiwan to push back $180 million in loans that the UDP never did in 12 years. We never asked for any excuse on those loans. They come in, claim that they're running a humming economy, but when you look at what they've had to do, then their report card is an F.
We're told that Moses Shine Barrow will present his slate and manifesto Saturday morning. At the launch of the Tracy Panton UDP slate earlier this week, we spoke with Lee Mark Chang, who will contest the Mesopotamia seat.
I have to say it has been a memorable moment. I have met a lot of my old friends that I used to play ball with, acquaintances, and a lot of old families that I know when I was young. Or a lot of them tell me, I know you. So it has been good.
The committee, the constituency committee for Shine has completely switched?
Not completely, but majority have.
So then you're the rightful UDP candidate?
Yes, I am, but you know, the party leader has already explained just now how the situation arrived.
Do you feel it has been an uphill battle? I mean, you've run before, but in this case, I think you're going to split some of the UDP votes. What are you hearing on the ground to tell you that you will actually win?
Number one, I don't fight to lose. Like I've always maintained, I don't fight to lose. And I'm not here to be a spoiler. I'm here to win the division and to keep it for the United Democratic Party.
And what will it look like now for you in the few remaining days?
Well, it's hard work. Go on the grind, meet the people as much as I can. In the last 3 weeks, 3 weeks is a decent amount of time to finish up the constituency.
In other political news, incumbent area representative for Corozal Bay, Elvia Vega Samos, today announced that she will be running as an independent candidate in the division for the March 12 elections. She will go up against Thea Garcia Ramirez, to whom she had lost in a convention to represent the PUP in July last year. Vega Samos, in a Facebook post earlier today, stated that she made the decision after listening to her constituents and discussing the matter with her family. Since her announcement, reports have been received that she has been stripped of her government-issued vehicle. This is notable because until another parliament is announced, the ministers and ministers of state remain in government. Garcia Ramirez is the daughter of the CEO in the office of the Prime Minister, Narda Garcia. There has been a lot of friction between Vega Samos and the Garcia Ramirez camp since the contested convention. The mayor of the Twin Towns, Earl Trapp Jr., announced on his Facebook account that the works of the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing to replace the wooden low-lying bridge, which currently allows one-way vehicular traffic from Santa Elena to the market area of downtown San Ignacio, are about to begin. The current wooden structure of the Earl Haylock Bridge, as it is formally known, will be replaced with a higher concrete structure requiring less maintenance. The work is to be carried out by M&M Engineering Consultants Limited and is expected to take 4 months, with works expected to begin in March. And self-defense classes for women and girls are coming to San Pedro during the first weekend in March. Self-defense instructor Renee Wentz will be visiting the island to offer the training sessions. Wentz said that classes are for all women and girls regardless of fitness level, age, or ability. The sessions will be held at Caribbean Villas, south of downtown San Pedro. Wentz shared information on the cost and how individuals can sign up.
doing a class probably the first weekend of March. So if there's anybody interested in San Pedro in having a class, please get in touch with me. My WhatsApp number is 630-5571, and you can also find me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is S. Renee Wentz, and you can contact me on Messenger through that as well. Well, for the class in San Pedro, I'm looking at women and girls, and it's empowerment self-defense, and so we say the classes are for everybody. So it's for any girl or woman that is interested in learning how to protect herself from any kind of violence, but it's for people. You don't have to have any kind of fitness level. You don't have to have any background. You can have a disability. You can be of any age. And it's really just for anybody that wants to learn a little bit more about how to protect herself on the street, at home, in the classroom, or anything.
Can you tell us about the cost and if they would need to take any equipment or anything?
I'm going to be doing 2 classes if I get enough interest. So the beginning class is for adults, and that's for 16 and up. That is going to be $50, and for 15 and under is $20. And then for anybody that's taken my class before, so that can be recently, or it can be if you took my class a few years back, that is going to be $30 for adults, and for 15 and under is $10.
And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again Monday at midday. Join us again Monday for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.